Well, good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. I am told that we are going to get snow in the mountains here in Salt Lake tomorrow. So I am indoors and not outdoors. It's still lovely outside, but cold weather is upon us. So it's autumn. I love autumn. Today's talk, short talk, special short talk, is really focused around community and your network. I've spoken over the last few days about social media, and very much my work within sort of spatial advisors is centered around that whole world of social media, particularly B2B and LinkedIn. But I really wanted to touch on what community and network means. And I think that's really the key to social media, and why I think that one needs to, or organizations need to think differently about how they use and approach social media. So I think that I use the network the community that I'm a part of and that sort of is building around me to do all sorts of different things. I think one of the key things, and it struck me this morning, I was talking to Victor, who I met through LinkedIn, and we have some wonderful conversations. And my eyes are always open to Victor's world, and he's geospatial, he's technical, he does some really interesting things. He amazes me with some of the things he comes out with. Makes me think. So, I think part of a community helps us learn more. It helps open our minds and eyes to what's possible, what's new, different ways of thinking. So community can do that. From a business perspective, community is certainly, it's a way to do marketing. Certainly you can market your services, your product within LinkedIn. Certainly you can do sales within LinkedIn. And again, that's a part of the world that I inhabit on sort of my work side of things. But certainly you can evolve products, product ideas, ideation. I mean, community is absolutely essential. But what makes up community? I think trust is where you actually are, is a really important part of community. So if you're part of a community and that community knows who you are, they share content that you talk about, that, there's this whole content sharing, commenting on, interacting piece, which is part of community. That's part of your purpose. And again, I separate personal brand with product or your company brand. I believe that you need to build out your own place in that universe as to being a genuine, trusted person. Those other things flow from that. It doesn't start with you talking about your product or your brand or whatever else you're pushing. Nobody wants to be sold to. So I think it starts out with sort of that being genuine, being who you are, being able to identify those things that are your purpose and why. Why do you get up in the morning? I think a lot of that you can share on LinkedIn. Now you can go over the top with that, but there's tools and techniques to do this type of thing. But I think that what's fundamentally missed here is the fact that you're building a community, and these other things are results of building that community. Using Simon Sinek's term, when you talk about your why, a lot of people say is to make more money, for example, as a company, but that's a result. What's your purpose? What's your meaning? What's your why? In my case, it's, as I've mentioned before in other talks, it's all about thinking differently, different approaches, different perspectives. It's about innovation, really. And that's innovation in not just solving problems. It's how you approach sales and marketing. It's how you engage in a community, actually. It's all very different. If we're thinking in a very linear way, which tends to be how the structure of larger organizations are, it's hard to do that kind of thing. So looking at things through a different lens is kind of my key, is what I do. And I think that social media it opens my eyes to new possibilities. It exposes me to things I didn't know about. It makes me think about things, even though I try to think widely, in totally different ways. So I can only but emphasize how important it is to engage in social media, whatever your goals are, because it opens those doors to things that are closed to you currently. So anyway, that's my Wednesday talk. It's really, I wanted to talk about community. And again, I think that's missed in all the things that I read about how best to use LinkedIn, for example. Nobody really talks about this community piece to it. And I think to move particularly the spatial world forward, where we're stuck on sort of old thinking, old approaches, or sort of the old world, we got to open the world up. And I think social media is an important place to do that. So thanks for watching. I'll do another talk tomorrow, and have a happy Wednesday.